So if you've ever wondered whether a man is genuinely crazy about you, stop overanalyzing his texts, his likes on social media, or how long he takes to reply. Watch how he greets you. That moment, those first 5 seconds, hold more truth than anything he could type. Because when a man's heart is involved, his energy will betray him. He won't be able to help it. His face will soften. His body will lean in. His voice will meet yours like he's been waiting for that moment all day. And here's the real magic. When a man greets you like you matter, you'll begin to realize something far more important you do. That greeting isn't just about his feelings, it's a reflection of your value. The way someone shows up for you is the mirror they hold to your worth. Never settle for a connection where you're questioning your place. Never chase clarity in confusion. You deserve someone who makes their desire obvious and their presence warm. Because love isn't hidden, it doesn't whisper, it greets you out loud, with joy, with focus, with a light that says, "There you are, I've been waiting for you." There's a difference between being liked and being felt. You'll know it not by what a man says, but by how he shows up the moment you enter the room. If a man greets you with energy that lights up the room, he's not just saying hello, he's revealing a truth he can't hide. There's something incredibly telling about the way someone greets you, the energy behind it, the way their face shifts when they see you, the way their body unconsciously turns in your direction. The greeting is the spark, short, instinctive, powerful. It's not rehearsed, it's not performed, it's real. If a man's crazy about you, you'll feel it in the first 2 seconds of seeing him. And no, not because he says all the right things, but because he changes. Something in him lights up, his whole energy expands. His words may be simple, just a hey, or even just your name, but the emotion behind it, it's unmistakable. He may smile without meaning to. His eyes might linger a little longer than they should. He may lean in, not because he's trying to flirt, but because something inside him missed you, even if you only saw him yesterday. There's this involuntary brightness that fills the air around him when you walk in. That's the light you bring, and when a man is into you, he can't help but reflect it back. Have you ever walked into a room, uncertain, unsure, maybe even guarded, and the moment someone greeted you, that all melted away? That warmth, that ease, that sense of being welcomed not just physically, but emotionally, that's not accidental. That's a man whose soul recognizes yours. That's someone whose entire nervous system reacts to your presence. You won't have to guess whether he's excited to see you. You won't need a decoder ring to analyze his tone. You won't be looking at your friends afterward asking, "Do you think he likes me?" Because the truth will live in how he said your name. How quickly he noticed you, how his energy instantly shifted to make space for you, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. That's the difference between attraction and obligation. And no, this isn't about grand gestures. It's not about running across the room or throwing his arms around you. Sometimes the most powerful greetings are quiet, but they are full of presence, full of emotion, full of attention. Because when someone really feels something for you, they don't need to perform it. They just are it. The energy shows up first. The heart speaks before the words come. And here's the kicker. Men who aren't sure about you, they don't greet you like that. Their energy is flat, distracted, passive. They may be polite. They may even be nice. But niceness isn't love. Niceness isn't passion. Niceness doesn't light up a room. Think back to those moments where you felt unsure, where a guy gave you mixed signals. Did he light up when he saw you? Or did he greet you like he greeted everyone else, like you were just another person in the room? You deserve someone who greets you like you're the reason they showed up. You deserve someone whose tone changes when he speaks to you, whose face softens, whose entire body language says, "I'm glad you're here," because that greeting, that's where it starts. That's where real connection begins, not with dates or messages or declarations, but in the energy of how he sees you. So don't ignore that, don't brush it off, don't settle for people who treat your presence like background noise. Watch how someone greets you, and believe it. if his face lights up when you walk in, if his attention drops everything else to meet you, if his voice warms the second he says your name, he's crazy about you. And that moment is not small, it's sacred, because the way someone greets you is often the truest mirror of how they feel about you. And when a man greets you like that, like your presence is a gift he just unwrapped, you'll stop asking questions. You'll stop chasing clarity because the truth won't be spoken. It'll be felt. You know what's rare today, being seen, not looked at, not scanned, not complimented, but truly, deeply seen. And that's exactly what a man does when he's crazy about you. He makes eye contact that doesn't just glance, it holds. It lingers, not in a creepy way, not in a performative way, but in a way that makes you feel like he's listening with more than just his ears. Like his soul has stopped everything else just to witness you. You know that kind of eye contact, don't you? The kind where time doesn't speed up, it slows down. It's not rushed, it's not awkward, it's not forced. It's calm, gentle, present. It's the kind of gaze that isn't looking at you, it's looking into you. That's because when a man is genuinely captivated by you, he stops multitasking. He doesn't stare at his phone while pretending to listen. He's not distracted by who else is in the room or what's happening next. In that moment, you are the room, and his eyes tell the truth that his mouth may not be ready to say yet. You're important to me. A man who feels deeply for you will have this involuntary softness in his eyes when he sees you. It's not just lust. It's not just interest. It's reverence. You'll notice he doesn't just wait for his turn to speak. He listens like your words are a language only he understands. Like he's searching for meaning beneath the surface of every sentence you say. That's the difference. Eye contact from someone who cares isn't about intensity, it's about intimacy. And intimacy isn't loud. It's quiet, powerful, peaceful. You don't feel invaded. You feel honored, like someone's finally seeing parts of you you didn't even know were there. He doesn't just see the version you perform for the world, he sees the real you. The raw you, the tired you, the brave you, and still his eyes say, I'm here. And here's the thing, that kind of eye contact can't be faked. We all know the difference. We've all felt those eyes that roam while someone pretends to be engaged. The eyes that flick back and forth, giving polite attention while clearly planning their next move. That's not presence, that's performance. When a man is with you, his eyes stay. They stay when you laugh. They stay when you stumble. They stay when you're unsure, when you're sad, when you're vulnerable. His gaze doesn't retreat when the conversation turns serious. If anything, it becomes softer, stronger, because he wants to understand, not escape. And the reason that kind of eye contact is so powerful, because in that look, he's communicating something even deeper than attraction. He's saying, you don't need to earn my attention, you already have it. That is a man who is emotionally available. That is a man who is not intimidated by depth, a man who is not afraid of connection, a man who wants to know you, not just your highlights, but your humanity. And you'll notice something else. When he looks at you like that, you begin to look at yourself differently. You start to feel more grounded, more enough, more real, because in his gaze you find safety, not just in the way he sees you, but in the way you start to see yourself through him. So often we chase the people who avoid eye contact, who leave us wondering, who give us crumbs and keep their walls up. But real love doesn't flinch, it doesn't hide. It looks you in the eye and says, I'm here. And when a man greets you with that kind of eye contact where his soul is listening, where his heart is wide open, he's not just saying hello. He's saying, I see you, I value you, I choose you. And maybe he hasn't said the words yet. Maybe he hasn't declared anything out loud, but trust me, his eyes already did. So the next time you're wondering where you stand, look for that moment, the quiet one. The one where he looks at you and the whole world falls away for a second. That's not just a look. That's a man who, for a moment, saw you not just as someone to like, but as someone to love. And that kind of eye contact, that's the kind of love that never has to shout. It simply sees and stays. Words can be charming, words can be manipulated, but the body, your body, my body, his body, it tells the truth before the mind even catches up. And when a man is truly into you, when he's crazy about you in a way that goes beyond the surface, his body will tell you everything before a single word ever leaves his mouth. He won't even realize he's doing it. That's what makes it so honest, so pure. It's not rehearsed, it's not deliberate, it's unconscious devotion. Watch the way he leans in, you're mid-conversation and you notice. He's not slouched back, arms crossed, eyes drifting. He's engaged, not because he has to be, but because he wants to be. His body faces you, not just his eyes, not just his head. His entire posture is pointed in your direction, like a compass that found its north. He doesn't fidget like he's waiting to leave. He doesn't scan the room looking for someone more interesting. In fact, in that moment, you are the room, you're the reason he's grounded, you're the center of gravity. Even when he's not touching you, his energy is wrapped around you like a protective field, as if his presence is trying to say, "You're safe here, I'm here." And then there's the proximity. He finds subtle reasons to be near you, not in a way that makes you uncomfortable, but in a way that makes you feel prioritized. He'll step slightly closer than necessary during a conversation. He'll sit next to you instead of across the room, even when there were other seats available. It's those micro decisions, the ones you almost miss. But your intuition doesn't, because energy doesn't lie. When someone wants you near, you feel it in your nervous system before you register it in your mind. And let's talk about the subtle touches, the ones that say, "I notice you," even when his lips are silent, like how he might lightly touch your arm when he laughs or graze your back as he opens the door for you. These are not rehearsed gestures. They're gentle affirmations, physical acknowledgments that your presence matters, that your existence is felt. And that's important, because you shouldn't have to beg to be felt. There's something profoundly intimate about how someone exists around you, not just in the big romantic moments, but in the quiet, ordinary ones. The way he stands slightly in front of you in a crowd, almost instinctively guarding your space. The way he notices when your shoulders tighten and softens his tone to meet your energy. These are the ways a man's body says, "You're not just someone I'm talking to, you're someone I care about." You've probably met men who said all the right things, but their body language never matched. They said you mattered, but they checked their phone while you spoke. They said they were all in, but their arms stayed folded, their legs pointed toward the door. They said they cared, but their energy pulled away when things got real. That's the thing about truth. It shows up in alignment. When someone's body and words don't match, believe the body, because here's the hard truth. You should never have to chase the energy that's meant for you. When a man is into you, his body doesn't resist you. It invites you, not in a lustful way, but in a present way. His energy becomes a space you can relax into, and there's something magnetic about that. Not dramatic, not chaotic, but still magnetic. His posture becomes open, receptive, honest. You'll also notice something deeply reassuring. He doesn't flinch at your vulnerability. When you share something personal, something real, his body doesn't freeze. His eye contact doesn't break. His presence stays. That's how you know he's not here for the performance. He's here for the person, and you might be wondering, what if he's just nervous? What if his body language is shy, not disinterested? That's fair, shyness exists, but presence still speaks, even in silence. A man who's nervous but interested will still make space for you, even if he's quiet. He may stumble over his words, but his energy will still lean in. His focus will still land on you, and that's what matters most. Energy never lies. So, if you've been waiting for a man to tell you how he feels, maybe he already has. Maybe he said it in the way he stood closer when you were cold. Maybe he said it when he didn't rush to leave, even when the conversation got awkward. Maybe he said it when he kept looking for your face in a crowded room, even when his friends were talking. If a man is truly drawn to you, his words might take time, but his body already knows. His energy will wrap around you like a whisper that says, I'm here, I see you, you matter. And when a man's body says that, listen with your heart. You want to know one of the purest signs a man is emotionally attached to you, not just physically attracted, not just intrigued, but emotionally pulled toward you. It's when your emotions move him instantly. Not because he's trying to be sympathetic, not because he's trying to be charming, but because he can't help it. You laugh, and he laughs too, even if he doesn't know why. You light up over something small, and suddenly he's smiling like it's happening to him. You share something painful, and without warning you see his face soften, his mood shifts, his voice lowers. He's feeling with you, not just hearing you, feeling with you. That's emotional resonance. That's energetic alignment. That's a soul that isn't just watching you, it's mirroring you. He's not trying to fix it. He's not offering cliché advice or brushing past it. He's there with you in it. Present, awake, aligned. That's the kind of man whose connection runs deeper than surface charm, a man who doesn't just care about what you're saying. He cares about how you feel while you're saying it. You'll notice it in the little moments. You're having a stressful day. You didn't even fully explain it, but something in you is heavier and he feels it. Maybe he doesn't say much, but suddenly he's quieter, calmer, gentler. His whole demeanor shifts without needing an explanation. That's what happens when someone is attuned to your emotional world. They pick up the frequency before you even tune into it yourself. And that kind of mirroring, it's not calculated, it's intuitive. It's like his nervous system is responding to yours. Because when a man is connected to you on a deeper level, your emotions don't just matter to him, they become a part of him. You can see it when you're telling a story. He's not just nodding along, he's reacting. He's raising his eyebrows at the right moments. His smile widens when you get excited. His breath slows when you speak softly. It's as if he's inside the moment with you. That's what mirroring is. It's emotional empathy in motion. It doesn't mean he agrees with everything. It doesn't mean he mirrors for approval. It means he feels with you. And that's rare. Most people hear to respond, but when someone mirrors your emotion, they hear to understand, they sit with it, reflect it. They don't interrupt your rhythm, they move with it. It's also what makes you feel emotionally safe. Because suddenly you're not performing anymore, you're not filtering yourself, you're not wondering if your mood is too much or not enough. You're just you, and instead of being judged or dismissed, you're met. Emotionally, energetically, spiritually met, and it's not only in conversations. You'll notice it when you're out together. If you feel off, his vibe subtly shifts to match your mood, to stay close to your energy. If you're in a silly mood, he'll loosen up too, like his guard drops just to dance in your joy. If you get quiet, he doesn't rush to break the silence. He sits there, present, knowing that sometimes silence is sacred. That's how you know he's tuned into you, because he's not demanding a certain version of you, he's moving with the one that's here right now. And no, this doesn't mean he loses himself. He's still grounded in who he is. But in that grounding he becomes flexible, gentle, responsive, like a tree that bends in the wind but never breaks. He makes space for your emotional reality without needing to control it. You know what that tells you? He's not afraid of your depth. He doesn't panic when you're feeling big emotions. He doesn't try to change your feelings. He honors them. And that is one of the greatest acts of love a person can give, to stay open in the presence of someone else's truth. We live in a world where emotional availability is rare, where empathy is talked about but not practiced, where people say, "I'm here for you," but their energy doesn't follow through. So when you find someone whose energy moves with yours, pay attention. Because that's not just compatibility, that's connection, that's emotional intimacy, that's someone whose heart is already reaching for yours. He doesn't have to say, "I love you," out loud to show you that he's invested. He already said it when he felt your sadness like it was his own, when he mirrored your joy like it was his home, when he didn't just observe your emotions, he held them. So if you're asking whether he's truly into you, watch what happens to his emotions when yours walk into the room, because a man who's crazy about you doesn't stay unaffected. He mirrors your soul because it matters to him. He greets you with familiarity, even when you haven't talked in days, written in a deeply emotional, cinematic Matthew Hussey style tone without naming him. Perfect for powerful voiceover narration, there's something subtle but unforgettable about the way he greets you, not with hesitation, not with formality, not like someone who's unsure if he still has a place in your world, but with warmth, with ease, with familiarity. As if no time passed, as if your presence is a space he knows by heart, as if he was never really gone, just waiting to return to you again. That's what makes it different. It's not just a hi. It's not a casual "how's it going" or a bland "what's up." It's a reunion, a soft landing, a homecoming, and the wild part is you might not have heard from him in a few days, maybe even a week. Life got busy, schedules overlapped, messages went unanswered, but the moment you reconnect, it's like nothing was lost. Nothing was forced. There's no weird tension, no passive-aggressive energy, no cold distance. Instead, there's that spark, that smile, that effortless connection. He doesn't start with an apology or an awkward check-in. He doesn't treat you like a stranger. He greets you like someone who's been thinking of you all along, because deep down he has. You were never out of his heart, just out of reach. And when a man greets you with that kind of emotional familiarity, it says more than any grand romantic gesture ever could. It says, you're not just a moment in my life, you're a presence in it. You don't need to fight for your place here, you already have one. He's not trying to reset anything, he's not trying to win you over again, because in his heart the bond never broke. And the way he speaks to you, the way he slips right back into that shared rhythm, tells you he never emotionally left. You see, most people treat distance like a threat. They come back guarded, they come back different. They come back treating you like an option they're not sure about anymore, and that kind of uncertainty hurts. But this is different. He doesn't need time to warm back up, because to him you're already warm, you're already home. You'll notice he picks up conversations right where they left off, as if the thread was never dropped. He remembers things you told him weeks ago. He still laughs at the inside joke you thought he forgot. He references moments you shared like they're bookmarks in his memory, not just passing dialogue. And the way he says your name, soft, natural, intimate, like it belongs on his lips, like it always did. He makes you feel known, not just noticed, known, because even in the silence, he never disconnected. Even in the distance, he never stopped holding space for you. And when he greets you like that, like no time passed, like no love was lost, he's telling you something powerful. I'm not going anywhere. Even when I'm not around, you're still with me. That kind of presence. That kind of consistency. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It whispers security. It whispers safety. It whispers belonging. And we don't talk about this enough, but one of the clearest signs a man truly values you is how he returns to you, not with awkward energy, not with questions about whether he's still wanted, but with assurance, with heart, with the same emotional intimacy that's been there from day one. Because when a man is emotionally connected to you, it doesn't matter how many hours, how many days pass, you never feel like a stranger. You never feel like he's starting from zero. You always feel like you're still his person. That's how you know he's crazy about you. He doesn't treat the bond like something fragile. He treats it like something sacred. He doesn't fear the space between because he trusts that what you have is real. And when you greet each other again, it feels like exhaling, like resting, like being reminded, yes, this still feels like home. If he talks to you like this after silence, he's emotionally attached. The way he greets you says everything about his feelings. He acts like nothing changed. It means you changed everything for him if he comes back like this. He never truly left. He speaks to you like you're still home. That's real love. How a man greets you after distance reveals his heart. He didn't forget you. His hello tells the whole story. This is how men act when they can't let you go. If he still feels close after time apart, you mean more than you know. No contact. Pay attention to how he returns. He greets you softly, gently. That's not just a habit. It's a sign when a man feels connected. Time doesn't change his hello. His energy didn't change. That's how you know he's real. If his smile feels like a memory you missed, he still feels everything. He comes back like you're still his person. That's not by accident. He makes time for you even in the middle of his chaos. It's easy to make time when life is calm. When everything's working, when the calendar is clear, when nothing is pulling at him from every direction, that's when it's convenient to reach out, to check in, to show affection. But the real truth shows up when he's in the middle of chaos. Work pressure, family demands, life spiraling into unexpected moments, and yet, despite all of that, he makes time for you. Maybe not hours, maybe not perfect dinner plans or long calls, but a message, a check-in, a soft thinking of you in the middle of a storm. That's not random, that's not small, that's deliberate. That's a man whose heart is tied to yours, not out of obligation, but out of devotion. Because here's the truth, no one is ever truly too busy. We all make time for what and who matters most. And when a man is in love, truly connected, emotionally invested, even chaos won't stop him from reaching out. You'll notice it. He might be running on fumes, but he'll still make space for you in his world, not because he's trying to impress you, but because you're already part of his peace. You're the one place he doesn't want to lose connection with. He doesn't disappear for days without a word. He doesn't treat you like an afterthought. Even when his life feels overwhelming, you feel included. Sometimes it's a 30-second voice note that says, "Today's crazy, but I just wanted to hear your voice." Sometimes it's a quick message at midnight, "Didn't want the day to end without checking on you." Sometimes it's a short call between meetings, no agenda, just presence. These moments, they're not about time. They're about priority, because when someone cares deeply, they don't wait for things to calm down. They don't put your connection on pause until life feels easy. They choose you in the middle of their noise. And when a man chooses you in chaos, that's not infatuation, that's commitment. The world may be pulling at him. He may be tired, distracted, even emotionally drained. But even then, he makes time not just to say, "I'm still here," but to show you that you still matter. That your presence is not a burden, it's a grounding force. You become the breath in between his stress, the moment of stillness he looks forward to, the anchor he reaches for when everything else feels like it's drifting. And here's something most people miss. It's not just about how often he shows up. It's how he shows up. Is his voice soft even when he's tired? Does he listen even when his mind is full? Does he protect his connection with you not because life is easy, but because you're worth the effort even when it's hard? That's the measure of someone who's serious about you. Someone who understands that love isn't built in quiet moments alone. It's built in how we show up when everything else is loud. He might not always have the perfect words. He might not be able to give you hours of his time. But when he gives you his energy, his attention, his presence, even in brief moments, that's love showing up without needing fanfare. That's a man whose heart doesn't switch off when he's busy. A man who holds space for you, even in the middle of everything else demanding his time. It's powerful, it's subtle, and it's real, because when he's overwhelmed and you still hear from him, you're not just someone he talks to. You're someone he turns to. There's a difference. And let's be honest, most people fall away when things get complicated. They stop calling, they stop caring, they disconnect emotionally and say, "I'll come back when I have time." But not him. He's not waiting for perfect conditions. He's choosing to show up in the mess, in the stress, in the chaos, because your connection matters to him more than his comfort. And that, right there, is rare. That's what reveals everything you need to know about how he feels, because anyone can be there when it's easy, but it takes real love to show up when it's not. So if you're wondering where his heart stands, look at what he does when life gets loud. Does he go silent, or does he make time for you in the middle of it? Because when a man finds peace in you, he doesn't run from the chaos, he runs to you in the middle of it.